Wheatstone bridge. It is an arrangement of four resistances used to determine one of these resistances in terms of remaining three resistances. The current I coming from the cell is split into I1, which flows through resistor P, and remaining current, that is I minus I1, flows through resistor R. The current reaches at B, again split into Ig, which flows through galvanometer having resistance G, and remaining current, that is I1 minus Ig, which flows through resistor Q. Current coming from resistor R, that is I minus I1, and the current coming from the galvanometer, that is Ig, combine at D and flows through resistor S as I minus I1 plus Ig. Similarly, the current coming from resistor Q, that is I1 minus Ig, and the current coming from S, that is I minus I1 plus Ig, combine at C, so that total current again becomes I, which goes back to the cell. First, we can consider loop ABDA to apply Kirchhoff's second rule. Since our direction of transversal is in clockwise direction, we are moving from A, then to B, then to D, and finally reaches at A. So we are starting from A in clockwise direction till reaches first resistor, that is resistor P. After reaching at P, we are checking the direction of transversal and direction of current through this resistor. Since here the direction of transversal and direction of current both are same, the current resistance product is positive. And since the current I1 flows through resistor P, the current resistance product is I1P. Now we are continuing our motion in clockwise direction till find the next resistance in the path of motion, that is resistance of galvanometer, which is G. Since here the direction of transversal and direction of current both are same, the current resistance product is positive. Since the current Ig is flows through resistance G, the current resistance product is Ig into G. Now again we are continuing our motion in clockwise direction till find the next resistance in the path of motion. That resistance is resistance capital R. Since here the direction of transversal and direction of current both are opposite, the current resistance product is negative. And since the current I minus I1 flowing through resistance R, the current resistance product is I minus I1 into R. Since there is no cell in this loop, the right side of the equation is 0. Now we can consider another loop B, C, D, B in clockwise direction. So we are starting from B till reach first resistance Q. Here, since our direction and direction of current both are same, the current resistance product is positive. And since I1 minus Ig flows through resistance Q, the current resistance product is I1 minus Ig into Q. Continue our motion in clockwise direction till find the next resistance. The next resistance is resistance S. Here we can see our direction of transversal and the direction of current both are in the opposite directions. So the current resistance product is negative. Since the current I minus I1 plus Ig flows through resistance S, the current resistance product is I minus I1 plus Ig into S. Again, continuing our clockwise direction motion till find the next resistance, which is galvanometer resistance G. Here, since the direction of current and direction of transversal both are opposite, the current resistance product is negative. And since Ig is the current flows through galvanometer, here the current resistance product is Ig into G. But there is no any cell in this loop, so right side of the equation is 0. We already know that when we change the resistance value in the circuit, the current we can change. So we are adjusting the values of resistances P, Q, R and S such that there is no any current flow through the galvanometer. That is Ig equal to 0. This situation in which there is no current flow through the galvanometer is known as the balanced condition, or we can tell now the bridge is balanced. After putting Ig equals 0 in equation number, it becomes I1P minus inside the bracket I minus I1 into R equal 0. After taking R term, second term to the right side, equation becomes I1P equals inside the bracket I minus I1 into R. This we can call as equation number 3. Now put Ig equals 0 in equation number 2. So it becomes I1Q minus I minus I1 into S equal to 0. Now take second term to the right side. So the equation becomes I1 into Q equals I minus I1 into S. This we can consider as equation number 4. Now divide equation number 3 by 4. So in left side I1 cancels and in right side I minus I1 cancels. So the final expression is P by Q equals R by S. This equation is known as the principle of Wheatstone-Bridge. Meter bridge. It is the simplest practical application of Wheatstone bridge. Meter bridge is used to measure the unknown resistance. Meter bridge consists of 1 meter long straight resistance wire stretched along a meter scale, which is fixed on a wooden board. The ends of the resistance wire are fixed between two L-shaped thick copper strips, that is at A as well as at C. These copper strips are also fixed on the wooden board. The gap between the L-shaped thick copper strips, there is one more thick straight copper strip which is fixed on the wooden board such that there are two small gaps between thick copper strips. In the left gap of meter bridge, we are using an unknown resistance, and in the right gap of meter bridge, we are keeping a known resistance, that is a resistance box. From end A, we are connecting to the positive terminal of cell, and from end C, we are connecting to the negative terminal of the cell through a key. From the middle of the straight copper strip, we can take one wire to galvanometer, and again from galvanometer we can connect to the jockey, which can move over the resistance wire. The left side of the resistance wire is considered as resistance P, and right side of the resistance wire is considered as resistance Q. Unknown resistance on the left top is considered as resistance R, and non-resistance on the right top considered as resistance S. Now we can check how this meter bridge is equivalent to a Wheatstone bridge. This can be done by checking the positions of resistances, cell, and galvanometer. In a Wheatstone bridge, one side of resistance P is connected to the positive terminal of the cell, and other side of P is connected to the galvanometer. Similarly, in meter bridge, one side of P is connected to the positive terminal of the cell, and other side of P is connected to the galvanometer. Again, in Wheatstone bridge, the resistance Q, its one side is connected to the negative terminal of the cell through a key, and other side is connected to the galvanometer. Similarly, in Wheatstone bridge, one side of the resistance Q is connected to the negative terminal of the cell, and other side is connected to the galvanometer. Now we can consider resistance R. Its one side is connected to the positive terminal of the cell, and other side is connected to the galvanometer. Similarly, for S, its one side is connected to the negative terminal of the cell through the key, and other terminal is connected to the galvanometer. Move the jockey over resistance wire till galvanometer shows null deflection. When galvanometer shows null deflection, keep the jockey in the same place. Now the bridge is balanced. That means the principle of Wheatstone bridge is applicable here. Means P by Q equals R by S. Since the total length of resistance wire is 1 meter or 100 centimeter at the null deflection of galvanometer, distance from A to jockey is taken as L, then the distance from jockey to point C is 100 minus L. If R dash is the resistance per unit length and L is the total length of P, then total resistance of P is resistance per unit length R dash into total length of the P, that is L. So resistance P can be replaced by L into R dash. Similarly, resistance of Q is resistance per unit length R dash into total length of Q, that is 100 minus L. So Q can be replaced by 100 minus L into R dash. So the expression becomes LR dash divided by 100 minus L into R dash equals R by S. After cancelling R dash and rearrangement, the unknown resistance R equals SL divided by 100 minus L. Here S is the known resistance since it is the resistance taken from the resistance box, and L can be measured by using a meter scale which is connected with the resistance wire. After knowing the values of S as well as L, we can find resistance R. We know resistivity rho equals Ra divided by L, where rho is the resistivity of the material of unknown resistance. A and L are the area of cross-section and length of the unknown resistance. Since area of cross-section is pi r square, resistivity rho equals R pi r square divided by L. By measuring unknown resistance R from above equation, radius small letter r by using a screw gauge, and length of the unknown resistance capital L by using a meter scale, we can find the resistivity of the material by this formula.